Welcome to one of this year's most challenging races, where the combination of high speed and complex corners makes this one of the drivers' favourite tracks. It's time for the Japanese Grand Prix. We're southwest of the city of Nagoya today at the unique figure-of-8 Suzuka circuit. 3.6 miles and 18 corners make up a lap here, with average speeds approaching 136 miles per hour. DRS will be available, of course, into the potential passing opportunity at turn 1, although the best place for overtaking will be through 130R and into the final chicane.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to SouthernXRacing. I'm your host, See Me Skate. Well, I'll tell you what, folks, a bit of a blast from the past. Well, with me for the very first time, oh, the infamous one, the Amigo, Infamous Pillars. How are you, mate?
Yeah, it's been a while, we're back now. I was seeing how you weird lot do it around Suzuka today.
Absolutely, mate. And it's great to have you here, of course. Just tweaking your audios, Pills. You're a bit low there, mate. So just fixing that up as we're going. But yeah, all sorted now, buddy. But yeah, 13 at the moment. Oh, 14 as I do speak of. And oh, what's Dulzy done? It's got the wrong colour next to his name. Not too sure what's happening there, but Dulzy has just joined. And yes, default setup round. This one here, Pillars. Of course, some of the boys missing a couple of scaredy cats, I reckon, in the lobby there, mate. Not too sure, but yeah, missing a few tonight. Understandable. There is a few things going on in the background down here in the great land of Oz. But nevertheless, we are running with 14.
Yeah, indeed. I mean, I don't get why. You know, they'd be watching something else rather than doing this, but we moved. It's their loss.
We too.
You know, there's nothing you can do about it. I mean, if you want to miss one of the best tracks on the calendar, that's fine, but honestly, it wouldn't be me.
That's exactly right. There is no sympathy from the Pills, of course, and how can you miss this track, Pills? I mean, it is a fan favourite, a true quintessential driver circuit. This one here, as Brad Tay first to blink, and well, he was B1, of course. He was, well, looking for an early request, an early Grand Prix tonight he was hoping for. But no, we kick off at normal time, and I'm sure Brad Tay, as he did send me a screenshot of what he's up to there, Pills. He's got a couple of screens going on at the moment, and what we were talking about off air regarding that best and fairest count is, well, he's got that on in the background, so he's looking to get his laps out of the way pretty quick. He's pretty keen, is the Brad Tay.
That's a real one right there. I mean, you know, if you have you don't need your phone while you're racing. You just stream it onto your phone and race. You know, you know what Brad Tay does. You know.
Oh, that's exactly it. That's exactly right, of course. And yes, no setups. Fury is in chat, and no setups at all. Yes, of course. They are running all the defaults, whichever one they have chosen to go with, of course. And well, there, Pills, you cannot change anything in the lobby. You cannot change the tyre pressures. You can't change anything. But I tell you what, if the boys have got a keen eye, during race conditions, of course, can adjust the front wing setting when they are actually, or probably for their first stop, I dare say. Can't do it before the race, but can do it for their first stop, of course. But Brad Tay, he's about to get himself underway, starting a lap right now, Pills. And, well, I dare say we're going to, probably going to watch Brad Tay tackle this magnificent circuit, of course, here, mate.
Absolutely. I mean, the hardest part on this circuit is what he's coming up to now. You can lose so much time going through these S's, and obviously the final one going up towards it's Dunlop, really. The car just a little bit too far to the right-hand side, you catch the car underneath that curve, and it's game over, really. You find yourself in a barrier. But Brad Tay also come through that pretty well. And then into the exit there, Gavin, and then into the rest of Sector 2 there.
Absolutely, and well, tackling it quite nicely. Takes a little bit of curb on exit, but doesn't unsettle the car too much there, Pills. And he wants to nail this braking zone very well, of course. This is his first time run, so nothing to get too excited about. Brad Taylor just be getting his eye in, sussing out this setup, of course, and well, of course, he's locked it in now. There is no chance of changing it now, but as we do have a bit of a look at the chat, of course, next season, can we do a box? Well, technically, Fury, a box, you can use all the compounds. You start on a soft, the box, you go to the medium box, again, you go to the hard, so that kind of does work with just the 2 boxes, but yeah, something, maybe not something to think about anyway. I've got one up my sleeve for next season anyway, Fury, and I'm sure you're going to love it, but that will be all revealed in due course. As you know, we're all a bit of a thinker here, mate, and Fury is keen for something different, but here comes Brad Tay. He sets a 1 minute 29.434 pills for his first time run. They're not too bad at all.
Yeah, they're obviously first time in obviously a short quality session. Track will ramp up in like the last 5 minutes, as we all know. So it's just about getting a banker at the moment. Obviously, not putting too much stress through the tyres. You don't really want to do 3 runs as you would on from 2021's game, even go back a couple of years. I still have a habit of doing that, even over the last 2 games, because I forget that I don't get, the tyres that I want. But you got to put the banker in first, chill for 10 minutes, and then go at it.
That's exactly
right. Which is boring for people with the box, but I mean it's great for drivers.
That's exactly right, of course. And well, I mean, you see some people even go out there on a set of inters, which for me, I mean, full quali you can understand that, but short quali never understood that. But anyway, we push on. Johnny M4. Well, there he is, there going through that last chicane now, and last corner. Here he comes, Pills. And looking not too bad. This is a Group 4 driver, Pills. Johnny M4 crosses the line with a 1 minute 29.524. Of course, Brad Tay being the other Group 4. Those 2 boys getting their laps out of the way pretty quick, smart.
Yeah, and I don't even know how you say that person third, Gav, so I'm going to let you do it.
That's because he can. Because he can.
Yeah, there we go. Let's call him Can. Can doing a 149.5, so I'm guessing there is more in that lap. Johnny M4, yeah, been there, known him a little while now. He's either ridiculously good, or he just has one of these nights where nothing can get going. There's no in between. Well, amazing or crap. So I don't know what is going to happen.
To Johnny M4's probably own admission, not much has changed. He's improved a hell of a lot as Johnny, and it's great to see, of course. His pace has picked right up, but we're going to stick with because he can, because I reckon that first run was one without any ERS pills, and he's opted to go a second warm-up lap. So this is it. This is a timed run from him, and he's got a handy little tow from his teammate just up ahead of him. Of course, to speak of that man there, Johnny M4. There he is. Look at this. Look at these boys, the Milwaukee racing team, of course, doing bits, working well together as, Johnny M4 doing his best to give him a great tow through there. And he's going to get out of his way pretty quick, smart, I dare say. Yes, he certainly does. And that is brilliant from those Milwaukee boys, working perfectly as a team. As we've just got a new follower. I speak of Brian Bromley. Well, there you go, because he can. Crosses the line with a 1 minute 29.213. But yeah, Brian Bromley has just followed, and we'll throw that up for everybody there. And thank you very much for your follow, my friend. Much appreciated, of course. And he's a reserve driver with us at the moment, Pills. And well, he changed his phone. He was meant to be on the grid, but unfortunately something's come up. I don't know what, but yeah, he is not on track.
Yeah, absolutely. And obviously it'd be great if we could have more people here tonight. Surely pure for Suzuka. But we haven't, and we move on. Scotty goes through the second section on a 199. Obviously, because I'm washed, and I think he's actually backed off, but I don't know. Because I'm washed and I don't drive anymore, I don't know how good that is. I don't know how representative. No,
he's got that fit.
I still have it. I still have it.
What happened to the confidence, Pills? We've got Mad Mac out on track, tackling that chicane, of course. This is BPF1. What's Mad Mac got? He's, of course, a Group 3 driver. He crosses the line with a 29.8, throws himself up in a P5. Of course, got Fury out on track. There he is there, Fury the man. Of course, chasing down Tactical Genius in the Drivers' Championship. And he forgot Brian. Forgot the brown. As boring as batshit, Brian. You could have had it on in the background. I'm telling you, you're not going to miss much. By the time we're done, it'll just be getting interesting. You know that. The count doesn't get interesting until about round 12, 13. Guess what? We'll be done. We'll be done, and I'll be sitting back watching, well, attempting to watch it anyway. Got Fury out on track. Sector 2 here, of course. We've got Z out there as well. Where is he? He's just ahead of Fury, of course. He's in Sector 2. He's about to start his third sector now. And let's just see what he's got. He's got a handy little toe. We've got yellow flags in Sector 3. Not too sure who or what that is for. Could have been the slow. Well, gee, who was that? That could have been, well, it's his teammate, Quiet Cake, of course. Just doing the right thing. Trying to give him a nice little handy toe there, Pills. But there you go. Z crosses the line with a 129.906. Good enough for P6 at the moment.
Yeah, and Fury is going to come across the line with a 27.9, so laying down a bit of a statement, really. And you know what surprised me the most is how those bollards are still standing up through the last chicane.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't get why they're not abusing that, because I would definitely be hammering them into next week. And there is a Milwaukee round, and it's high cut. He is round. Yeah, so Tactical's on a lap now. Your guy JC, and he's been disqualified.
There you go. He's been disqualified for facing the wrong way. So we're going to watch our champ leader, of course, Tactical Genius, of course, in the second section at the moment. Let's just have a look how he tackles this one here. What a magnificent couple of corners this one. He's going to really throw it in on entries. He's done. Ride it out on exit and not taking too much curb there, which is absolutely spot on. And that long run to 130R, of course, in this corner. I'll tell you what, folks. Magnificent. Did you see that stuff last night, of course? And those boys were flat out through there, of course. So are these boys. And let's just see what Tactical's got. He would have seen that marker there from Fury. And let's just see if he's raised it. He's about to. No, he's not. It's a 28.2. JC slotted in there with a 28.1. We've missed that. And that's a handy lap from the JC. Good on him, of course. Blue Dog in the third sector as well, Pills. He's about to enter that chicane.
Yeah, Blue Dog, just doing what Blue Dog does. Probably one of the strangest liveries I've ever seen in my life, but we go with it. It is a 32.6. I imagine there's more in it, but we all know Blue Dog is on the old side, so there might just be not a lot left in the old boy.
Well, I'll tell you what, he's having some big issues at the moment. I think he's the old Blue Dog. So not too sure. Johnny M4 on his outlap. No. That's not what he wanted. It's going to hurt him for this one. It's going to be a red track map. Oh, dearie me, invalidated. Well, he went beyond track limits there, Pills, in that last chicane on an outlap. Yeah. And wow, ouch, that's hurt. So yeah, we're
He's definitely done without that. I think anything else is. Can is coming out again. I think your guy JC is doing. Gonna check it either in the pit lane. I think pit lane. You go again. So 6 minutes left of the session. This is where the track will start ramping up a little bit more. Johnny M4 better off chucking it in the pit lane.
Yeah, certainly.
And if he hasn't put much wear on those tyres, he can use them in the race for a late safety car, or start on them if he wants.
Yes.
But I wouldn't go again. I'd just get a new set on and do straight away.
Disqualified for getting back on track. Oh, how good's the game, mate? It's still doing its magic there. I can't. But oh well.
Still better than F122 as well.
It's still better. But I mean, that's not saying too much at the moment, though, is it? That it was pretty horrid, 22. But yeah, exactly. Well, I'll tell you what. I mean, you don't really know high cut there, Pills, but he's got some pace. The guy is pretty quick, and if anyone can sort of make amends from the back of the field, it certainly is that man there, of course. He's taken numerous poles as high cut. Unfortunately, we'll be starting this one in P14. We're going to stay with Scotty, of course, yet to set a lap, of course, and Harass has made an appearance, and he's out on track as well, on an out lap. So I'm going to stick with Scotty here at the moment, as I did say, yet to set a time.
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously going through the S's now, and then coming to the top out of this left-hander, which is going to be Dunlop, and then into the Degners. Scotty taking a bit of curve then, probably more than what he wanted, but it's going to be a 31.7 first sector. Through Degner 1 and then 2 and then under the bridge. Riding that curve a little bit, just straight the car up and then into the hairpin. You have 2 lines here, you take it tight to the turn on the inside or go wide and try and straighten the car up. We got the power a little bit earlier. Back end a little bit squirrely at going through the long rights and up towards Spoon. As Gav said earlier, you want that car to drift out, get the rotation into the second left, and then pump it straight down this long back stretch now and up towards 130. Harass has also been disqualified, facing the wrong way. And now into the last chicane now where exit is, and again these boys aren't hitting these bollards. What are you doing? If you hit the bollards, you straighten up. You save about 2 seconds.
You're giving your tricks away there, Pills, of course. And yeah, scratching his head. He's like, what are they doing? They're not hitting the bollards. But here comes Johnny M4. Can he make amends? No, he doesn't. He's a bit slow. He throws that one in the pit lane there, Pills. He was almost level pegging with his previous best there, but yeah, thought better of it. How much time is left? Cannot see. There we go. 3 minutes exactly. Well, 3 minutes and 15 seconds to get this qualifying session done and dusted. Brad Tay will be next. Where is he at the second sector? Well, he's up by nearly 3/10 there, Pills. Puts him around P5 where Mad Mac is, of course. And let's just see Brad Tay come across the line. What's he got, of course? And maybe not listening. I'm not too sure. But there you go. What's he got? Pills? It's a 129.157. Does improve on his time. Throws himself into P6. So, yeah, these laps are going to come in thick and fast now, mate.
Yeah, I mean, what is it, a 128 lap? If you're quick enough, you can get in and out.
You can.
And have one more time.
It'll be touch and go though, Pills, won't it? It'll be touch and go, of course. What are they doing? 1 minute 30s, outlap probably, 1 minute 40-ish? Yeah, it's doable. Absolutely doable. So, yeah, good spot there, Pills. Good spot. Brad Tay. Excuse me. Looks like he's on another lap. So just going to keep an eye on this one. Of course, we've got 2 Barbies about to take the line, of course. Scotty going in the pit lane. Tactical starting his last run now. So let's just keep an eye on Brad Tay. No, he's 1.1 seconds slower. So, well, that one's not going to do it there, Mr. Pills.
Absolutely not. Obviously, it's a strange call because personally I would have waited right until the last second to get a second track. Obviously, a couple of people haven't. Jules hasn't. Jules has only just come out now. So he will get the best of it. Blue Dog isn't coming back out. So looking at it, yeah, obviously you got the top 3, well, the top 2 starting on outlap, Tactical on a lap, going through the Degners. We've got Can, who's 3/10 of a second up, approaching Spoon. And then you've got Z, who's probably going back to start one more lap. So it probably will be... Is it Can or Can? It's going to be Can. It's going to be...
Oh, he's just invalidated. He's just invalidated coming out of Spoon, and that's a red track map. Ouch.
It's going to be Tactical then, Gav. It's going to be Tactical. Half a second up so far. Obviously, approaching 130R.
Oh, hang on a minute. Suicide 5. Do you want to jump in the lobby, mate? There's a spot there for you. He says that he's got a day off.
He has my voice. He has my voice.
He's got 40 seconds. I'm going to send him an invite anyway. He jumps in, but you have to jump in before they get into the lobby.
Hang on there, Gav, because Tactical has gone P1, but only by 200s. It's all down to Fury. 700s up for the first sector and coming down the back stretch. Great exit out of Spoon, but he hasn't validated, actually. Let's scrap that. He's invalidated. So it's that your guy Joe Field. How do you rip the car back?
There you go. He's Suicide 5. He's got himself an invite. Make sure you got the reserve livery on, if possible. And yeah, get yourself in if you can, please, mate. There is a spot there. Just start at the back. Do your thing if you want to, of course. And it'd be great to have you on the grid. But yeah, there you go, Pills. There you go. The S5 must have heard you there, mate. And decided to greet us with his presence.
He knows where his bread's buttered, that was.
That sounded so wrong on so many levels.
If that's how you want to take it, Gav, that's absolutely fine, mate. But, you know.
Each to their own, I dare say, Pills. Johnny M4 about to tackle end of sector 2 now. What's he done? Oh, Jesus, he's 8/10 up there, Pills. He's 8/10 up. Johnny M4's on a flyer. He's absolutely on the flyer, right at the death. And he won't make it. Sorry, boys. No worries. No worries. Suicide 5. Johnny M4, this is a cracker from him. A 128.6. Throws himself up in a P5. Great lap. Because he can, does move up with a 29.056. Your guy JC out on track as well. Well, I'll tell you what, he's level pegging at the second sector. 700s up on his previous best. And of course, our championship leader, yet to see him. Oh, JC throws that in the pit lane, but Dulcie, well, I don't know if that's a graphics glitch or what. The wrong livery. He is a Yahoo driver, but what's he done? Dulcie, a 28.2 P4. That is qualifying done and dusted. Our pole position sitter, Tactical Genius, takes it as we've got a new follower, Batman. Woohoo! Batman has followed. Thank you very much for your follow. We'll put that up again for everybody else. Much appreciated, mate. Well, according to that, your follower number 185. So thank you very much for your follow as we're about to get this one underway, of course. Yes, missing quite a number of boys tonight. It is unfortunate, of course, at this circuit. And 2 weeks, 2 botched attempts for Paul. I know, when you got it on the round where it didn't matter, he got it on the sprint round, Pills. He took pole position for the sprint race, but we didn't give pole positions for the sprint race, of course. Not for that one. Yeah, so he missed out, unfortunately, for the Fury. As, well, what's happened here? No, so, Tactical Genius, this is for you, my brother, as we'll unmute that pole position.
Yes, it's pole position. Yes.
There you go, Tack. Hope you enjoyed that, mate. Great lap from you, a 127.961. Not too far behind is the Fury Meister. And JC, ooh, JC doing JC things. He's woken up this one. Dulcie not too far either. These 4 are the ones to watch. And then you got the next group, of course. Scotty, Johnny M4. I tell you what, Scotty just can't get a spell, can he? When Bender was around, it was Bender. Now it seems to be Johnny M4. Poor Scotty's just had a time of it. But yeah, that is qualifying. And no formation lap, Pills. So we are going to...
You don't have formation lap?
No, because the game's broken, mate. It just buggers the lobby as, well, Codemaster has done in the past. So, yeah, we go straight from the loading screen, straight to the grid and get stuck in. So, there's not much the boys can change at the moment. So, it's pretty much as you were, though, Pills. And can I still make it? Can you still make it? Can I still make it? I don't know. Can you still make it? Sure, try installing the... Suicide 5 doing Suicide 5 things. Can I still make it? Well... Try, mate. I don't know what to tell you. You've got an invite.
I don't think you can.
I don't think you can. Not like, yeah, it'd be close if you're in like right now, but no. Have a go. Can you? Can you? Can't you? Can't. So. I'll tell you what, this is about to get happening very, very quickly as we go straight to the grid. And here we go. We've got 1 light, 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights. We've got 5 red lights. The lights are out and we are away. Great launch by Tactical Genius, but have a look at Fury. Fury sneaking up on him. Fury is sneaking up on him. He's going to have the inside line on the soft compound and takes the lead into turn 1 there, Pillars. Great start from the Fury. Dulcie hanging in there a bit. Tails happy. Oh, I'll tell you what. He's had to give the position to Scotty. Scotty's just snuck on by there. Dulcie got a bit tail happy. And have a look at those Milwaukees. 6th, 7th and 8th Pills doing their thing. High cut with a blistering start from last on the grid. Already up in a P8.
Oh, someone's gone off. Someone has gone off, though.
Oh, is that Dulcie? Oh, Dulcie's, yeah, he's got... Oh, he just had to wait for the group to go through, of course. And finds himself way down the back. We've got some movers here. Johnny M4, Brad Tay. Let's have a look at this. Of course, we've got some great battles here. Blue Dog's come alive up there in P9. He's about to get passed by Because He Can. And certainly, oh, Blue Dog's hanging in there. And he ain't going to give anything easy as the Blue Dog, of course. Because He Can lost a heap of positions there, Bills. He's down there in P10 at the moment. And, yeah, not too sure what's happened with him. So that might have been the car you've seen, as we've got a very, very wide... who is that? That must have been Quiet Cake. certainly was coming out of Spoon.
Yeah, coming up with Dunlop, I think it must be one of the hard tyre runners. Obviously, the grip just isn't going to be there early doors of this race. I think the back end tries to overtake the front, and obviously there's only one way, turning right in the left-hand corner doesn't go. But Fury obviously setting the fastest lap of the race. 9/10 needs to break that 1 second on this lap to make sure that he's out of the RS range of tax throttle to push on those softs. They will start dying around lap 10. At that point, it might go soft medium or go soft hard.
Well, I'll tell you what though, Pills, massive, big props to Hiker. Up in a P5 now, he's pushing. Look at the guy, Hunt. He's closing in on Scotty. As we're watching, because he can close right in on the Blue Dog. Excuse me, looks like at this early stage, because he does have the speed, just made him, excuse me, a bit of an error there at the first opening lap, but looks to be coming alive now. Blue Dog must feel him all over that gearbox. And let's just have a look to see what's happening further up, of course. I think this is going to be a move here any moment. We're going to stay with this. Don't worry about the guys in front, Skate. Look at this one. We're looking at P10, P9, Blue Dog versus Because He Can. This is BPF1 versus Milwaukee Racing. And this is a Group 3, Group 4 in Blue Dog versus Group 3 in Because He Can, who's come alive this season. I'll tell you what, he's hit his straps here. He was a bit slow to start from off the blocks there, Pills, but boy, oh boy, has this boy come alive. It's great to see. And there you go, just getting past Blue Dog well before 130R. And yeah, job done, mate.
I mean, I thought more of Blue Dog. I really thought, I was on board with him, and I thought he was going to go side by side through 130R, and I saw him hit the brake. I'm not angry. I'm just really disappointed.
Well, of course, Blue Dog he's having some rig issues, so we can afford to go a bit light on him at the moment. I know he's having a hard time of it at the moment. He's having a shocker time of it. He really is. He's struggling. And usually you see Blue Dog a bit higher than that with a bit more pace. But yeah, he's struggling at the moment. I think he's up due for an upgrade, Pills. So let's hope he gets that one sorted out pretty quick smart. As we'll flick up to High Cut and Scotty. Look at this, Pills. This is P4, P5. Have a look at it. Of course, High Cut all over. Oh, Scotty nearly made an error. He took too much of the curb into Degna 1. And the car got unsettled. But have a look at High Cut. He's all over him like a rash here, Pills. He's going to go the long way around the outside, trying to make the most of that soft compound. He should get a good exit. And he certainly has got a good exit. Look at the exit here, Pills. And that is up in a P4. High Cut is on a mission.
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, worth using the soft tyres to his advantage so far. Yeah, great move. Obviously, coming out the exit of the hairpin, and now obviously close right into your guy JC. Lost 3.3. Obviously, on the hard tyres, playing the long game. Obviously, a bit of short-term pain, hopefully for a bit of long-term gain for your guy JC and the other hard compound tyre runners. Dolzy did have to box. He lost his end plate, so that pretty much needs to take the car now to get any fairly sort of decent points today.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
But yeah, High Cut obviously making those soft tyres work to his advantage, so's Fury, but High Cut is actually going to go down the inside into turn 1 and 2.
Oh, he's got it wrong. He's held onto it though, Pills. Oh, dearie me, through 2 and 3. That car got all tail happy, a bit loosey-goosey, as the old Danny Ricciardo was saying. And of course, yes, he's held it. He's held onto that spot. P3, JC down to P4. You want to be careful. He can't breathe a sigh of relief just yet because he's got Scotty right behind him, ready to pounce. So where is Harass? Harass starting to make some end grounds here now, mate. Of course, yes, he's just gotten past Z and, of course, Quiet Cake. And now he's going to start looking at Blue Dog. Harass is in for the long game. Started on the hard compound, so he's going to go a lot longer than the guys around him. Look for this guy towards the end of the Grand Prix. Always pops his head up, of course, towards the end there. And who is that having a look? Z having a bit of a look at Harass. And Harass gets a great exit coming out of there. And lives to fight another day.
Yeah, obviously, got Quiet Cake and Z, obviously, are teammates, and they need to play this right. I don't know, is Harass a reserve? Or?
Harass is a reserve, yeah.
Okay. But Z down the inside of 130R. That's what we want to see.
That was a move and a half. What a move from Z. And gets that job done. Moves himself up into P11. And, well, come on, Z. Make the most of that soft compound. You can't be sitting behind the lads. You've got to make a move. I'll tell you what, he's done it at the wrong time. That's the problem with this track, though, Pills. You make that great overtake through 130R. You just give the bloke DRS for the next part of the track, which is what Harass has done. He's just... Oh, there you go, breeze by Z, just to retake that P11 again. And Z has to do it all over again there, Pills.
Yeah, you have got to be smart about it. But if you're going to go for the overtake to 130R, you need to know you're doing that before you do it. And then when you're going through, even before you get to 130R, you need to push back the chicane.
Yeah, that's right.
If you think about the chicane beforehand, rather than worrying about 130R when you go in there, you have more time to plan what you're going to do on the exit of it. Whether you're going to, when you swing into the chicane, if you're going to go to the right a little bit more to then open up that left-hander so you can shoot out straighter, you keep that move that you just made. So it's all about planning it. All about planning it.
Exactly right, and I'll tell you what, Harass is just, well, he's doing his thing on that hard compound. Z's tried a few times to get by him, and he just can't get it done. Harass has got it sussed, coming out of the hairpin, and I'll tell you what, Z's getting, well, he's looking very racy behind Harass, but Harass has just got enough in the kitty. Have a look at him go. Z's going to have another look through 130R, but he's wisened up here, Pills. He needs a good exit coming out of this chicane. Let's just have a look at this, because this is all for Z, of course. He's gone a bit deep, but no, that's it. That's not gonna. He's not gonna get it this lap. He will have the DRS to bring himself back into contention. But I'll tell you what, his teammate is all over that gearbox. Let's flick back up to the top, because JC and Highcut doing battles. Maybe, just maybe, Pills. We're starting to see these soft runners starting to hurt a little bit.
Yeah, I think it probably could be the case. Obviously, Fury can relax on his tyres a little bit more, being out in front, but has lost 3 tenths in the first sector, so we know, of course, tenths. So they have gone off, but it's about how can you stretch them out another 2 laps. If you can stretch them out 2 more laps, it makes it easier for the mediums to go to the end, or if you want to go hard. Personally, would go mediums, because you can hold people off around here. It's all about thinking about your extras rather than your entries.
Yeah, exactly right there, Pills. Spot on, my friend. Spot on as, well, JC got his hands full, because look behind him. Scotty is still there. He's not going away, is he? Of course, Scotty up there in P5 doing a great show. Great showing from Scotty this week and last week. Johnny M4 still in P7, right behind Brad Tate. Excuse me. With these Barbie boys, I'll tell you what, the last few rounds, they've started to come alive. And if you are privy to our Twitter, of course, you've seen those championship tables close right up, of course. Barbie F1 now in P2. Leapfrogging BP F1, of course, who have dropped down to P3. There's just 1 point between those two, of course. I speak of Barbie and BP. But nevertheless, Barbie have come from absolutely a very slow start to, well, start to hit their straps. And have a look at the running order at the moment. In this very early stage, on lap 7, we've got Tactical Genius in P2. We've got Scotty in P5. And we've got Brad Tay in P6. The Barbies are having a good showing. And let's not forget Milwaukee as well, because they're starting to come alive as well. We've got Highcut in P4. We've got Johnny M4 in P7. And because he can, he's starting to make end grounds after that. Well, that first lap error, I dare say, whether it was his error or somebody else's that made him make a mistake, I'm not too sure there, don't quote me on it. But because he can, in P9, starting to close in on Mad Mac, who is on that hard compound, so, well, it is higher advantage to Mad Mac, because he can at the moment.
Yeah, we have got, that's Dulzy. Dulzy is round, and that's out of the last corner going down towards the start finish rate, and those tyres are going to be absolutely cooked. So he needs to be careful now for about the next 3/4 of a lap, try and cool them down. Hopefully. I don't think that's going off too much for Fury here, Gav. Because you look at the gap again, he's opened it back up by 4 tenths. It's unless Tack's gone for a big lap, started closing in, and Fury's gone, no, not having it. Your guy JC and Highcut going at it, and that's Dulzy again, and that is Dulzy in a wall. Don't do anything stupid here. Just don't do anything stupid, Dulzy. And then fine. It's 2.2. I thought you're struggling.
Yeah, what is going on? That's just blown well out, hasn't it? Of course, I'm not too sure if Tactical's made a bit of a mistake, but the gaps behind haven't really closed in, so yeah, I'm not too sure. Fury's just put the hammer down. He's absolutely put the hammer down. He's probably saved a little bit of battery and a little bit of tyre life, I dare say. Being out in front and clear air, he's not really cooking them compared to the guys behind him. So maybe that's just working in his favour. He's putting his head down now, putting in these big laps here, Pills, because he knows that these are the ones that matter, of course, for his stint. He loves an aggressive strat, does Fury. Currently leading Tactical Genius, his championship nemesis, of course. Fury in P2, Tactical in P1 in the championship. Currently leading, well, Fury currently leading Tactical by 1.9, well, 2 seconds to be exact. And, well, Highcut still hovering there, isn't he, there, Pills, of course, in P3. JC's sitting pretty. He's looking pretty good at the moment, but he's gone the way of the hard compound, so he's going to go very, very long. He's probably looking to do a hard, soft compound stint here, I dare say. Same with all the hard runners, of course. You can stretch the hard, and as Pillars did say, of course, it is a very hard place to overtake. You need to have some significant overspeed to get that job done. So JC just holding for us. Dools has retired. Dools has retired, and that's a pit quit. Oh, dearie me.
Yeah, that's not ideal for him, but obviously I know his race wasn't going particularly great. But yeah, we are where we are with that. I mean, it's one safety car, and you know, this is an old school track. Walls are tight. One mistake and it's done. So there's always a chance for a safety car.
There is always the chance. There always is the chance, of course, and you never ever say no in Grand Prix racing because anything can and usually does happen. As we do pay a bit of attention to the chat, as Housey is in there. How are you, mate? Good to see you in chat. Suicide 5 still in there. Well, he's just hovering, isn't he? Suicide 5 just lurking in the shadows is what he does best. Yeah. So we'll flick. We'll flick back down to Scotty. Scotty's still, well, he's still sitting there with 7/10 of a second to JC, who's, well, he's hanging on a high cut. High cut's trying to stretch his legs. I don't know how good he'll go on 8-lap old softs versus the runners around him. I dare say, they're probably balancing out right now. How's the default going? It's going very well, of course, there, Housey. The boys, well, there's a bit of panic stations for a whole heap of nothing, of course, and what it does do just brings the pack closer together, doesn't it? And you get great battles like this. Your guy JC, high cut, Scotty. Have a look at this. Brad Tate creeping up in the mix, not too far away. You got Johnny M4, you got Mad Mac, and then because he can, starting to make end grounds, big end grounds on Mad Mac. And the gaps have stabilised towards the back of the field, but you've got harassed there. He's still doing his thing. Quiet Cake right up his clacker. And Z, well, there you go. Z must have made an error because he was right there and thereabouts. So, yeah, so far so good as High Cut opting to get rid of that soft compound right about now, Pills.
Yeah, obviously still about lap 10, those tyres start going off. I'm never disappointed in our gap, let's be honest. 2 seconds is the gap. So yeah, Scotty Tactical has cut that down by about 4/10 in the first sector alone. Maybe that's 6 cents. I think those tyres have gone obviously. And oh no, actually, hang on. Tactical's hammered his batteries. He's 17% in the last lap alone. So definitely pushing. But I think it's about time that the Fury gets in, gets some fresh rubber on, and goes for it again.
Yeah, I think so though, mate. You stay. You can. I mean, you can do what you said and go those couple of laps. But if you start losing too much time, which looks like what is beginning to happen now to Fury, because look at that delta, Pills. It's 1.7, 1.6, and well, where in the last few laps it was 2.2. So it definitely is coming down. And look at him just take chunks out of there. Out of Spoon. Look at that. That was 0.3 of a second just on exit. So I dare say these softs are done. They're absolutely done. He's just hanging on where he can. But of course, yeah, he's got no more prime tyre life. Let's just see what Fury does, because I reckon he doesn't want to be sitting on this tyre compound for too much longer. And there you go. Into the pit lane he goes, and yeah, he's going to get them swapped out. So that releases Tack, and Tack is going to get his head down now as Jodaku in the chat. There he is there. And, well, great to see you, mate. And hope you're well. Hope things are going well, and hope to see you out on track with us very soon, though, mate. It's been a while, been quite some time. Hope you're going well. Hope life's good. Hope work's good. And yes, very busy man is the Jodaku these days. But nevertheless, we've got a race to call here as I'll flick down to Johnny M4. Still sitting in P6, Pills. Doing a great job is the M4.
Yeah, absolutely. Maybe he has found some middle ground in his is racing. Obviously, as I said before, he's either shit hot
Yeah.
or just shit.
I mean, you've just come into
No.
you come into the commentary box and you've given Johnny a bit of a slap. No way, I'm not standing for it. I'll stick up for you, Johnny. Of course, yes,
Right.
he's doing good. He's doing good things. Is Johnny M4 sitting there in P6 at the moment, and well, his championship's starting to come alive. He's had some good results of late, and let's just see how he goes. Of course, there's what is there, 16 more laps or 15 and a half more laps here, Pills, and this one will be done and dusted.
You got to remember, Gav, I am the OG champ of this
Well,
format.
you certainly. Well,
I'm not really wrong in this
yeah,
format.
I can't argue with that. Of course, you certainly are the OG champ of this format, and yeah, well, I mean, of course, the older brother, Formula 4, of course, is the older brother of Southern Cross Racing, of course, and well, if you're familiar with me, you'll be familiar with them, and if you're familiar with them, you'll be certainly familiar with the great man next to me, of course, the inaugural champ of that league, the OG champ of this format. But yes,
Used to be ridiculously good. Now I'm shit.
well, I mean, we don't need to tell that, Phil. He's just the OG champ, mate. Just the OG champ. As Brad Tay gets that, well, there you go. Brad Tay boxed, and a set of mediums for him. We've got some action in the pit lane. Blue Dog in the pit lane, getting rid of that set of mediums, throwing the hard compound on. Quiet Cake in, getting rid of the hards, throwing the medium on. So a bit of a mixed bag from these boys. Oh, as we did talk him up, Johnny M4. Excuse me. Take an excursion there through turn 2, turn 3. Just getting that slightly wrong and, well, lost a couple of spots. Harass, have a look at Harass. Of course, there has been some pit stops ahead of him, but he's just going about his business, isn't he, Pills? P7, of course. Fury, the first of the stoppers. So these laps are really going to matter to him, of course. He's got 5.5 seconds clean air, and he's really going to put his foot down here. So let's just have a look to see what Tactical's doing, because he needs to get the hammer down. Let's just see if he's losing or gaining time. Let's have a look at his split time, and on his previous best, well, there you go. Quite a considerable margin down. 11 lap old mediums here, Pills. Which way is Tac going to go? Surely you would stretch these out just a little bit, but doesn't want to lose too much time to Fury here.
Yeah, obviously the undercut is, obviously, I mean, it's pretty powerful on most tracks. This is one of them, obviously, with all the slow speed, with a few of the slow speed corners, and so you've got the S section. Traction is massive around here, so, you know, you don't want to leave it too long, but obviously he saw Fury struggle on the back end of that soft stint.
Yeah.
So he knows he went through a bit of pain, so he might have a lap buffer, potentially. But obviously it's about 22 to 23 seconds, I believe. So, you know, maybe not, maybe under a bit of the 8 ball now as Tac, but we'll soon find out. I'll say in about 2 to 3 lap time.
Yeah, exactly right, Pills. Is keeping a keen eye on Scotty and JC, because this is all for position. Of course, these guys yet to stop, of course. Scotty, he's hanging on to JC. JC doing his thing on that hard compound, but Scotty is not letting him go. Have a look at this. This is P3, P2, and, well, 6.5 tenths of a second. Scotty's starting to claw his way back, isn't he? Have a look at him, starting to take a little bit of chunks out of JC. And just keep an eye on that, well, the interval time, of course, just to see where he's stronger. And well, if the tyre's any good, this is where it'll be good. And, well, there you go. It's almost balanced out, isn't it? So, yes, so it's almost time for that medium runner as well. So they're not really getting too much more out of that tyre stint than what the soft runners are they? I mean, they can go longer, yes. You're not losing too much time, yes, but you don't really have that distance pace. You don't have that grip. Of course, it's just more of just circulating as you were. And there you go. Scotty must have heard us. He's heard us. He's going in the pit lane, and let's just see. He's got to throw on that set of hards. Oh, that was a late call. His guys weren't even ready for him. And there you go. The hard compound on Scotty out of his box and looking to undercut JC here.
Yeah, that'll probably work. Looking at the gap to the leaders, 17.2, 17.1. So that gap is coming down for Fury and Tactical. So he might have missed the boat here. He might have some work to do in these closing laps. But we shall see. So Scotty now going to have to trigger JC to go in, I'd say, this lap.
There you go. The gap to the leader from Fury to Tactical is 17.1 seconds. I tell you what, Tack pits now. Fury takes the lead. And the only saving grace for Tack is he'll have, what is that, 3 laps, 4 laps fresher tyres. As High cuts around, no. That's not what he wanted. And around goes the back end. And, well, he's got no nose. So that is a virtual safety car. We're under VSC conditions.
Well, I mean, if tactical, depending on how long this lasts.
Where is he? Where is he? There he is, going through 130R now there, Pills. Oh, you go in for sure. It's not ending yet. It's not ending yet. This is going to save him big time if he boxes now. I tell you what, he's going to do it. You'd be crazy not to. He is going to do it. Oh, no. That's not what Fury wanted. Let's have a look to see where Fury is. Oh, Fury's going in as well. Fury is... excuse me, that's JC. Where is Fury? He's there, the same coloured car. That's my fault, folks. I do apologise. Let's just see where Fury is. Where is Tactical? Oh, it's going to be bloody close. Harass gets a drive-through penalty here. Come on, there's Fury. And there you go. We're looking at it. We are green. That just saved him. Oh, there you go. 1.4, 3.7 seconds, 3.9, 4 seconds now. Of course, as Tactical tries to get up to speed. As, well, that's it. This is going to be a battle to the flag between Fury and Tactical Genius. JC, does he know something we don't there, Pills? He's put the hard compound on.
You know what?
The soft compound on, excuse me.
You might be right. Lighter fuel load, lighter car, not as bad tyre wear. This could work, or it's going to start off lap 25. He's going to be in a world of hurt. If he needs to make sure that he can catch up, but keep those tyres as best as he can.
Yeah, absolutely.
Might have half a chance, but we'll see, Gav. It's going to be an interesting last 30 laps.
I think so, mate. I think so. Is Scotty? Well, Brad Tate doing his thing. He's found himself up in P4 at the moment, of course. He was one of those guys that made those early pit stops, of course, and now finds himself up in a P4. His teammate behind him, of course, Group 2 is Scotty. Brad Tate, Group 4. So, knowing Brad Tate, when Scotty gets right behind him, he'll just move over and let him have that spot and attack JC if he can, of course. But Brad Tate doing a great job this Grand Prix. Just coming to his own, of course, and, well, P4. I told you, I said at the start of this Grand Prix, have a look at those Barbie drivers, of course. P2, 4 and 5 right now, and well, that's the pick of the bunch, mate, right there.
Absolutely. Tactical isn't making as much inroads as what we thought, or what you probably wanted as well. Where is Harass's still on 14 lap old hard tyres?
Yeah, he's circulating. He's got Blue Dog behind him, and Blue Dog is starting to catch him hand over fist. Of course, Blue Dog on much fresher tyres than him. I speak of Harass, of course, 11 laps to be exact. And let's just see how the Blue Dog gets on with this, of course. Great mates are these two, of course. Know each other for quite some time. And I'm sure they'll be enjoying this. I know, as I did say earlier on in the stream, I'm going to give him some... I'll give him some props, of course. Blue Dog, I know he's driving with an effective rig at the moment, or a defective rig, whichever one you want to call it. And he's just not having a good time of it behind the wheel in race settings at the moment. And probably due for a bit of a upgrade, but he's pushing on, is the Blue Dog. He's starting to creep up on Harass, but Harass needs to stop, of course. He's got 15 lap old hard compounds under his belt, and probably looking for a brand new set of softs anytime soon. Johnny M4 and Quiet Cake. Have a look at these Pills. Of course, Quiet Cake does have that track time penalty, of course, for track limits, of course. It's only 3 seconds. Johnny M4 is there and thereabouts. P11. Excuse me, did make that early mistake, of course, in this stint after his first pit stop, which was unfortunate. He was running in P6, P5, P6 was the M4. Now finds himself in P11. So, Johnny M4, oh, and who was that? High cut, getting it all wrong, going straight. And, well, we caught that just in the nick of time. And, well, High cut just struggling just a little bit at this stage, of course. He was having another tough time of it too. Just struggled in qualifying. Fought his way back up to P3 at one point and unfortunately made an error. And now finds himself down in P12. Fury doing his thing though. Have a look at the gap though, Pills. Have a look at the gap. 2.1 seconds, mate.
Yeah, Tactical pushing a little bit harder now. High cut. That's in the pit lane. That's just. I mean, you've got 10 laps left.
I know.
And it's
Oh, well.
fly around it.
Well,
Fly around it.
The unfortunate thing is it's the two pit and quitters. They just hurt themselves and the team that they drive for. But nevertheless, we push on, no pills, of course. Look at the gap. Look at the gap now. 2 seconds. I tell you what, Tactical's coming. Tactical is coming. Not too sure.
Yeah.
Let's have a look at these, battery levels. So Fury, have a look at that though, Pills. It's not great, is it? It's not great. And Tactical, he's got a little bit more than Fury, of course. But I'll tell you what, Fury has been burning that battery. Of course, Scotty behind him. And JC, look at that nice, healthy battery of his. So JC's doing what he's got to do, and he's just using it to overtake and not to play catch-up or try to break the toe from behind. And that is going to help him massively towards the end of this Grand Prix when everyone's struggling to defend, to attack, to make that move. As we've seen a move, Brad Tay, Mad Mac on the inside of turn 1, gets that job done. And Demotes Brad Tay to P6, Mad Mac up into P5. And now he can look at Scotty. So Scotty just got by Brad Tay in the nick of time. Because I tell you what, he's got a furious Mad Mac behind him. And Mad Mac, the lead BP runner. I tell you what, there's only 2 of them this Grand Prix. Unfortunately, missing a couple of them. Beansy will be back. Beansy will be back next week. Shoresby will be back. And I'll tell you what, BP need him to be back, of course. There's only 2 of them in this Grand Prix as we speak, Pills. And they're just falling further and further behind at the 8 ball on this Constructors' Championship. They were P2 for the bulk of the season until last week. And yeah, at the moment, Blue Dog and Mad Mac holding the fort for this magnificent team.
Yeah, absolutely. So we did see one more move in there. Just before that, before the Mad Mac move, it was Blue Dog actually finally did an overtake through 130R.
Oh,
he
did. He
130R. And that gap, Gav, 9/10. We are there. We are there now with the top 2.
We certainly are there. Yep.
But Fury's gaining that battery back, and Tactical is spending his. So. But the only good thing now for Tactical, he's in that DRS, he can save the battery and then make that overtake on the last lap if he really wants to.
I'll tell you what, Pills, this is heating up between these top 2. They've battled it out like this all season long, believe it or not. Only a handful of points separates these 2 between first and second in the championship. I know Tax loving the battle. I know Fury is loving the battle. And of course, Dulzy missed a few rounds at the start, of course, overseas, but nevertheless, High Cut and Dulz, they've got some pace as well to challenge these boys up the front. Unfortunately, they're not making it to the checkered flag on this one, but this is closing. Look at the closing speed. Fury is not enjoying this set of hard compounds at this stage here, Pillars. Of course, Tactical just doing his thing. Have a look at it, taking chunks out of him. Of course, Fury saving battery, Tactical saving battery. So they're both doing that saving thing at the moment. And just on raw pace at the moment, looks like Tac has his number.
Yeah, I'd say that he does as well. Obviously still 8-9 laps left to go here. In one mistake and it's game over. So you never know, you don't want to count your chickens until it's there, but what your guy JC wants is these guys to battle and him to just pull up, use the 62% battery he has and get the job done. Obviously Fury going defensive straight away on the start finish rate. That's just a little bit too far back to make anything of it. I think the best is to just sit behind, play follow the leader for a little bit and then make an all-out attack in the last couple of laps and then try and pull away.
Exactly right, Bills. Exactly right. As the gaps have stabilised, I'm just keeping an eye on Scotty, Mad Mac, JC, because Mad Mac, he's one to watch. When he gets that eye of his in, he's a very, very competitive racer. Of course, all of a sudden in P4 and arguably the driver of the day for mine, as we've got a new follower. Woohoo! Who's that? I'm going to call him Claps. Well, I'll put that up again because I did miss it. Well, there you go, mate. Thank you very much for your follow. You are follow number 186, according to my end. But I reckon you're probably 187, 188 at this stage. But nevertheless, thank you very much for your follow. Much appreciated, Claps. Or Claps, or however you want to say that. I think I got it right. But yeah, welcome. Currently watching Mad Mac trying to break away from Scotty. And at the top as well, I think Tactical's playing with his food. Tactical is playing with his food. and just sitting behind Fury, letting Fury do all the hard work, and just picking his moment when he's ready to pounce, of course. 6 laps remaining after this one. And I'll tell you what, it's anyone's guess who's going to take this one out of these two. Tactical looking very, very good. 4 laps fresher tyres than the man he's chasing in front of Fury. But nevertheless, it's one thing to catch, it's another thing to overtake around here, of course, Pills. But well, I'll tell you what, it's just dropped back a little bit. So, yeah, just probably saving everything, just the tyre, everything, just keeping it all the temperatures in the nice, happy window. Saving that battery for when he needs it, but then you don't want to let Fury off the hook too much because he's doing the same thing. And saving that battery, of course, for Tactical's onslaught towards the end.
Yeah, I think he's just following a little bit too closely to the last chicane. The car's just getting all that washout from the dirty air in front. I think if he wants to do it, drop back a couple more tenths and work on it and get the exit better, or go for it, or just send it into the chicane. Get it done before, because the DRS line's just before.
Yeah, that's right.
Plan it right. Get it lined up, down the inside, round the outside, whatever. Try and hang it through the chicane, because you can go too wide through there, and then get the DRS straight and hold it round like that.
You are spot on there, Pills, of course, and well, I'm sure he'll be thinking about the moment, of course. The laps are ticking down. They're going pretty quickly here, Pills. We're approaching lap 22. There's not many more to go. And, of course, well, Tactical will be wanting to think about this move. Where's he going to do it? Where's he stronger? Where's Fury weaker? All those things that go through your head when you're behind somebody and you're just eyeballing to see where you're better, where they're not, so on and so forth, and planning out this move because, well, it can seesaw when you do it at the wrong time, of course, with these DRS zones. But nevertheless, I think Tac is ready. He's ready. He's just lining himself up. He's been sitting there for the last few laps. Let's pay respects towards the back. JC's still hovering. He's on 7-lap-old soft compound tyres. He's got, what's he got? Another 5 laps to go. So he's going to go 13 laps on this set of soft compound, of course. Mad Mac, there he is there. As Claps is trying to get the Discord. This is invite only, this league, mate. And yes, we do not put the Discord out there, of course. And well, yes, Oceania League only, of course. So Australia, New Zealand, and from that part of the world, mate. Just message, of course, the league, SouthernXRacing, of course, on PSN, and we'll get to you that way, mate, if that's the case. Or if you know somebody who is in the server, reach out to them and get them to hit me up. And yeah, we'll take care of it that way, mate. But yeah, we push on. So there you go. Tactical Genius, still 5/10 here, Pills. And I'll tell you what, Fury just doing his thing, isn't he? Fury just doing his thing, but look at the battery difference now. Tactical's just saved a bucket load. And he's ready. He's primed and ready. Don't want to do it too early because he doesn't want to get Pillars. He doesn't want to get Fury an opportunity to take that spot back. So as late as you can, but not... as late as you can, but not too late, of course, as the OG champ puts in his 2 cents as we'll flick down towards the back.
So wrong, I am.
Well, there you go. Oh, Quiet Cake's in the wall! And there you go. That is no. So he's towards the back, and ouch, through the S's. He's got the leaders coming up on him pretty quick, smart here, Pills, as we've got VSC. We have a VSC.
Yeah, it's a bit of a reprieve for Fury. You look at the battery now, 70% for Tactical, who's obviously just lifting a little bit, lifting closer to the slower speed corners before this VSC came out to save a little bit more battery. So this is a bit of a reprieve. If Fury can nail this restart and get out that second, he can't. It's so much.
Well, wait.
Was on him.
It's
that ended in a crap position for Fury.
Oh my God, the track went green and Fury caught napping. It was in the wrong spot for him. And look at the gap. Look at these hills. It's on. Game on. As 0.4 of a second now. As, well, I don't know if he's still 100% keen. He's still coasting a little bit his attack. He's not really giving it the full beans at this early stage. Of course, there is still 4 laps remaining. Excuse me. As the gaps to put behind him are starting to close. Though, look at Mad Max starting to close in on JC. You can almost see him. Can he see him? He certainly can see him. That is the JC just there. So Mad Mac coming alive towards the end of this Grand Prix. Have a look at the lad fire up. That's what I love about him. As Housey in the chat, game on. His ears would have pricked up for that as Quiet Cake. Oh, Quiet Cake gets the speeding in the pit lane penalty. That's not what the doctor ordered. Excuse me, as we'll flick back up to tactical. Because it's still there, isn't it? He's still there. In fact, Fury is doing his thing. 7/10 of a second. As we're going to keep an eye on this. Laps are ticking down. 2 3/4 laps remaining. 2 3/4 laps remaining here, Pills. Mad Mac closing at a rapid rate of knots on JC. It is now 1.3 seconds. Woohoo! Mad Mac's firing up. JC's softs are starting to die. It's game on between those two as well. Have a look at this. Got a battle between first and second, third and fourth. And, well, the rest is pretty much as you were, of course. The gaps have stabilised. Brad Tay, well, he's hovering around that 1.5 second mark to Scotty. But I tell you what, these are great showing from the Tay man, of course, in P6. But this is where we're interested. Of course, Mad Mac and JC.
Yep. 5/10 split to top 2. 3 laps left to go. I don't want to call it. I couldn't call it. If you're going to go on battery, then you go for tactical because you just flat your battery right now and just get it done.
But really. I mean, he's disciplined. He's not even using it. I mean, that's discipline. It'd be so tempting. It'd be so tempting to get that job done as... because he gets the paddy. For this Grand Prix, he certainly is the paddy. But he's a fair distance. He's a distant paddy at that, I dare say. 7 seconds to be exact. But, well, here comes Tactical. He's having a look. He's having a look. Look at him. Look at him. No, he's playing with his food. He's playing with his food at the moment here, Pills. 2.5 of a second. He's going to get this job done. He's got to get the job done within this lap, I dare say, mate. Look at this. Look how close it is as Mad Mac JC is starting to close in as well. Where do you look? Where do you look? I'm going to stick with the lead, of course. Yes, Tactical and Fury. Look how close this is. Holy moly, 0.2 of a second going into Degna 1. And there you
have
go.
got Brad off the circuit down to P7 as well. Sorry to interrupt you again.
No problem at all, mate.
But, oh my God. I just want Tactical to go for it. No, really, go for it. But we are there 3/10. We are going to be in strike. We are in striking range. So it's got to be this lap and then just use the battery to get away.
Well, you would think so. You would think so. He's got a good line up here. I'll tell you what. What's Fury doing? What is Fury doing? Hasn't got the button on. No, he hasn't. No, he hasn't. No, he hasn't. No, he hasn't. So there you go. There you go, Pills. These boys are just, I'll tell you what, it's a cat and mouse game. And as, I don't know, Brad Tay, there you go, is, well, resumed his rightful position. Ahead of the B2, which is the B1, he's ahead of the B2. Brad Tay B1, B2 being Blue Dog because he can. I'm not too sure, Brad Tay must have made a mistake there. I'm going to stick with the lead because this is where the battle's at. This is where the battle's at. Is well, here we go, Pills. Here we go. 1 3/4 laps remaining. Look, can't get any closer than this. Cannot get any closer between these two. And keep an eye between Mad Mac and JC. It is now 0.4 of a second, Pillars. It's come alive there as well, so we've got to keep an eye on that one. But this is intriguing just to see this game play out, of course, this cat and mouse game. Fury struggling in the battery department. Tactical got at least 30% more than him. And, well, there you go. Tactical for the move in 130R next lap is what Housey reckons. And let's just see if he can get it done. Oh, I don't know, Housey. He's got the battery to get it done this lap and just breeze away with that battery life. But I tell you what, he's going for it. He's going for it. Oh, they've touched. Oh, they've touched. Oh, dearie me. He thought about it, but that is great driving from these two. The respect shown. And there you go. A bit of a touch there, but no harm, no foul. But here comes Tactical. He's having a good old look. I'll tell you what. It's not over yet, Pilsen. He's not over yet. He's got one more lap. That was it. He wanted to have a look through the... I can't believe it. He was having a look through the second part of Spoon. But, well, there you go. There you go. Live to fight another day, these two.
I don't understand it. You don't go for it in spoon. Nobody goes for it in the spoon curve.
He's going for it. He's going for it. He's going for it. He's going for it into turn one. He's going for it into turn one. Oh, no, no, no. Oh, dearie me. Oh, they've touched. Tactical's around. He will hold that. Look what's going on behind him. He could lose the podium. Mad Mac puts himself up in a P2. Tactical down in a P3. JC thereabouts in P4. Have a look at this, Pills. It is the last lap. It's the last lap of the Grand Prix. Oh, dearie me.
I mean, yeah, that was inevitable in a way, but I mean, if it's Fury, on the last lap, you don't leave the inside. You don't leave the inside open like that. Personally, you've got to defend that inside line to save that dive coming up. Obviously, the spoon move, I won't ever not know what the hell happened there. But yeah, well, I mean, for the time being, it's going to be Fury's win, but obviously we'll see after the reports are done.
We certainly will, of course. Well, there we go. Tactical Genius in P3. Mad Mac P2. I tell you what, Mad Mac, can he hang on? Can he hang on to this P2? It'll be the greatest P2 of his life. Come on, Mad Mac. Johnny M4 gets 5 seconds for speeding in the pit lane. And there you go. He'll go around one more time. He's got one more lap to do. Come on, Johnny. Get there. As Fury takes the checkered flag and Fury wins. Fury wins at Suzuka, Japan. Mad Mac P2. Tactical Genius P3. JC P4. What a race from the Mac. Scotty takes P5. Because he can, will take P6. Great race from Because He Can. Oh, I'll tell you what, he made up for it. He made up for that early mistake. Comes home in P6. Great drive from the Because He Can. Awesome drive to see. The Brad Tay ahead of the B2 in Blue Dog. There is the Blue Dog there. And, well, there you go. He's going to come across the line in P8. Harass will take the checkered flag. Oh, looks like Harass is disconnected. It certainly does look like Harass is disconnected. He's out. As let's just have a look and see. We're coming up to Harass right about now. And yeah, Harass is disconnected. So Harass will drop down all the way down to P12. And everyone above him will move up. So there you go. Yeah, certainly is. So there you go. Harass in P10. That'll be P12. Johnny M4 will be P11, and Quiet Cake will be Johnny M4 will be P10, and Quiet Cake will be P11. Of course, Harass P12. That is the race done and dusted, folks. As we wait for these boys, wait for the screens to all load out, and get this all buttoned up for the stewards, of course. Oof, Pills, Japan. I tell you what, default setup, boys done well for their first one, of course. Bit of a first here in Oceania, in our part of the world, of using a default setup round race, of course. And well, if you ask me, it was absolutely spot on. I mean, there was a lot of conjecture at the start, before we even went racing, as you did see, Pills, guys worrying about tyre temps and all sorts of stuff. But no, I think they managed quite nicely. And to be honest with you, that racing was pretty good, to be honest with you. A couple of questionable moves, but pretty good from the boys as Fury takes that win. And well, there you go. And Mad Mac, driver of the day. Yep, we're giving it to him too, because that was phenomenal. I forgot to put the driver of the day vote out, but nevertheless, Mad Mac, it is you, big boy. Awesome drive from yourself. And that's Fury's bloody levitation, of course, and it certainly is. Excuse me, as they hold the trophies aloft. And there you go. Going to see the boys. We'll get this over and done with, because I know the guys want to get to watching the Brownlow. So the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. Harass takes it with a 129.896, if you don't mind. And very good from him. We'll flick down to the bottom for the stewards, of course. Get this all buttoned up, and we'll be back with you, with our drivers, for an interview very shortly. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we are back. I tell you what, we've got our drivers in. Well, we've got two of them in anyway. I speak of none other than our race winner and our P4 man. We'll move to him in just a little moment. But of course, we'll go to the Fury. Fury, woof, what a Grand Prix. Default setup round. Talk us through it, mate. Give us some feedback. What are your thoughts? What did you think? Talk us through it.
Love it. It's cool. No, I love all the different stuff we do here. Like, don't get me wrong, I love a normal F1 race like the next guy, but yeah, having to know about, like, it was the weirdest practice I've ever done. Like, I was on time trial at the track and I was just using basic setups. So yeah, it was weird. But no, it was good fun. I was kicking myself again because for the second week in a row I botched my second quali lap. Which was really annoying because on the second run I actually did a 27.8, which would have put me ahead of tactical and given me the pole. So a little bit annoying with that one, but yeah, no, we ran the race. It was just monitoring the gap. Just wanted to break the DRS on him early, just to really kind of not give him that straight line tow with me. And it worked at the start, and I was actually kind of monitoring it. I was continuously gapping despite the fact my tyres just started getting older and older, and then they really faded once I got to lap 10, so, hit the box and threw on the hards. The VSC, tactical spreading helped out once again with a nice little VSC that helped him out. Definitely closed the gap for him and helped him out. I think, only came out 4 seconds ahead of him. I think the gap, given the, you gain, or you save about 10 seconds of a pit stop on VSC, you're looking at, about 15 seconds up the road that I would have been, at that point in time. So,
well, it's funny you say that.
Yeah, it was a little bit frustrating, but
it's funny you say that.
Yeah, a little bit of fuel saving.
Paying attention to the chat, Scotty's not happy with that last VSC. he was on the hunt, and I think it just slowed his progress a little bit.
Yeah,
but never.
100%. It hurt. Yeah. So I'm with Scotty on that. It sucked. It was poorly timed, but yeah. Then it was a bit of management, because when I come out of the pits, I noticed my fuel. I didn't under fuel, but the fuel was running down pretty quick, so I had to kind of manage the fuel while setting quick lap times on that initial stint out of the pits, which was not easy by any means. So just kind of managed that. Then tactical got close, and I was monitoring his straight line speed all race, and we were pretty well even. So it was then when he got to DRS, I was like, okay, cool. I'll focus on my exits out of the last corner, and just make sure that coming up to any decent overtaking spot here, which there isn't many, was to make sure I had a really good run up to it. And I had a look at Spoon, and we did make a little bit of contact, and I'll need a change of overalls for that one. That was pretty sketchy. And then a little bit unfortunate the way it ended with what happened at turn 1, but that's the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. And we'll move on to next week. That's the 5th one of the season. Get some, only get a couple points back on tactical, but some points back on him's always good. And with JC as well, give him a shout out. My only other Andretti boy on the grid tonight. We kind of limited some damage with having both cars on the top 4. Would have been really cool to have them both in the podium, but we definitely limit that damage with getting P1 and P4.
Absolutely, and of course you're only 12 points behind tactical prior to this Grand Prix, so you've closed that gap even then some. So it'd be interesting to see how that plays out, of course, with his fastest lap and the pole position and all that sort of stuff. But we'll worry about that at a later date, of course. Our P1, our race winner at our very first default round race, of course. And, Fury, you've taken the chocolates. Congratulations, mate. Well done.
Yeah, no, it's good. We won the first box, won the first default setup.
That's it, mate. Very, very good.
We'll throw more of these in. I think just every race should be something crazy like this. I'm keen for it.
I've got a few up my sleeve. I was actually going to sneaking one in to the calendar for this season, but I'm not too sure. We'll wait until next season, I reckon. But we'll push on. I will thank you very much, Fury, for your interview. But we'll go to our third place man. He was battling you there, Fury, but he was in the end come home across that line in P3. Tack, wow, what a Grand Prix. Talk us through it, mate.
Thanks, mate. We're pretty happy with pole. Those 2 points are seeming to be pretty valuable to me most weeks.
Yes.
Can't complain with that.
Absolutely.
And then obviously saw Fury going on the softs at the start, so just thought I'd let it go and just kind of stick to my own pace, have my own plan, and then he went in early. Thankfully, there was no safety car early, which helped me. And then plan was to push and go medium softs, but obviously when that VSC came out, no brainer to pit, and got quite lucky with that. But that was just part of the plan of going longer, as you always do. Kind of
you've got that
from
opportunity.
race safety cars.
That's right.
So yeah, benefited from that, which is great. And then caught up pretty quickly. Had to do some pretty crazy fuel saving. So just kind of stuck behind, charged my battery up, and then that late VSC kind of ruined it a little bit for me because I think my battery differential would have been quite good. But anyway, had a couple of goes. We'll see. We'll see what comes of that. But I had to try.
You got to try.
Stick behind. So
absolutely.
And look, if nothing comes of it, I'll take P3 with pole. It's not the worst result in the world. I think on a track that had any overtaking opportunities, I would have taken that race out. So I'm not too disappointed. Overall pretty happy.
Very good. Very good from you, Tack, of course. Still leading the group, mate. Still leading the group into round 9, of course. Next week, we are at Miami, of course. No stipulations for that one. Just a normal, flat-out, normal race. And I'm sure these boys will get their teeth stuck into that as I quickly check the Discord to see who else is in chat. Well, that is it. That is it for our top 3. And our driver of the day has been awarded to Mad Mac. Of course, what a drive by him. Tell you what, Mr. Inconspicuous is Mad Mac. I know he's not here, but we'll just give him a bit of a pump up in the meantime, of course. Does his thing week in, week out. Always picks up the pieces and, I'll tell you what, second step of that podium. He was there, he was ready to bounce. He could see what was happening. He did his job very, very well, did Mad Mac, and congratulations on a solid drive from him. But we will push on. We'll go to, tell you what, JC is in the chat. And, JC is the admin of this bunch, of course, this league. And absolutely, JC, fill us in, mate. Talk us through it. I do know you love a good interview, and, you weren't called to the interview box, but I do know you want to fill us with wisdom. Talk us through it, JC.
Wisdom nothing. I'm here to pump Mad Mac's tires. Where is that guy? I've been racing with him for a couple of years now, and man, was it ever good to see him pulling up behind me. And oh man, I would have loved to keep him behind, but he was just too good. He had the battery, he had the DRS, and he had the straight line speed. There was nothing I could do. I did everything that I felt was safe and fair for a guy that was tearing up behind me and deserved to be in front. But there was like nothing I could do. I kept it clean into turn 1, and he got me just easy as. And unfortunately, I tried to give a little bit of a cut back to him, but unfortunately, I did not want to double ruin team or tax.
I've got to cut you off.
Rear end there.
I've got to cut you off just quickly, JC, because I've known Pillars for quite some time, and I can almost hear him thinking, scratching his head, going, "That bloke doesn't sound like an Aussie." Yes.
No, he's Canadian.
Nah, I was dropped in my head as a kid. I'm just in my head.
Well, yes. He's our resident Canadian, of course. Living in Oz is the JC, and yes, he's the admin of the league. It's unfortunate that you get to meet Pillars this way, but that is the Pills, and well, there you go. We'll push on. We'll talk.
It's unfortunate. Not unfortunate.
Not while we're live. I mean, we can end this stream right about now, and then you can all kiss and hug like friends of old. But we'll push. We'll push on. Probably a good place to end this stream, Pillars. Mate, pleasure in the box with you as always. Anytime you're available, let me know. We'll get your backside in here yet again. Thank you very much, Pills.
No worries, always a pleasure. Never a chore, mate.
No, absolutely. The OG champ. The OG champ.
The OG champ is doing what he does.
That's it.
You know what I mean?
That's it, mate.
Give a great insight when it comes to fishing, you know what I mean?
Well, yeah, that's exactly right. I mean, before this becomes the Pillars Hour, we'll end this stream. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you to all of our drivers who participated, and the full-time scaredy cats did not like it. They were a bit afraid of the TT specialist and the default setup wanderers. We push on, all tongue in cheek. The boys know what I mean. Thank you very much for watching. We've enjoyed bringing that to you. We are Southern Cross Racing.